Partnered by Times Influence.
In this episode of Workplace Excellence, let's take a look at a new age successful Indian company that is taking Indian entrepreneurship to the next level. Chasing their dream of entrepreneurship, the company's founders have created a brand and business in IIFL Investment Managers. At the time of inception of IIFL Investment Managers, the world was facing a global financial meltdown.
We set up IIFL Wealth in April 2008, right in the midst of the crisis, as a unique entity owned 2/3 by IIFL Holdings, the listed entity, and 1/3 by all of us employees and founders put together. From there on, the next 3.5-4 years was a story of innovation, constant struggle, and daily a lot of hard work. The next 3-4 years saw possibly the worst financial crisis in this century, and to set up a new company at that point of time was extremely adventurous, challenging, and felt really fulfilling.
The story of how it became the fastest growing wealth management company in India is established by its founders.
One of the classic example is when we were setting up our global offices in the middle of global financial crisis. We empowered and trusted all our employees who were there running the show and give them full freedom to scale up the business. And I think that sense of ownership is what has resulted in the success of our international business over the last 10 years' time.
The art of wealth management and structuring is promoted by the first generation professional entrepreneurs of the company.
Somewhere in October, November 2007, we pondered the idea of doing something completely on our own. We thought there's a huge gap in terms of a personal advisory space like a wealth management. There was two paths ahead of us: go and start a completely owned boutique advisory firm and kind of build a small practice and keep very tight ownership, versus look at a professional entrepreneurial journey where we thought we'd tie hands with a large institution and they would promote us, and rather than owning a large percentage of a small company, we thought we'll own a small percentage of a large company. So it's been 10 years. We've been one of the most successful wealth management firm in the country. We have a very simple mantra. IIFL Wealth Management is a place where owners work and workers own.
IIFL Wealth's success story is largely driven by the platform it's been able to build over the last 10 years. And really, in that sense, the platform is not made of one ingredient. It's a combination of many things. And when I think of the platform, there are 3 or 4 things which come immediately to my mind. Needless to say, the first thing is people and people alone. Followed by very closely processes and products. I think all these 3 things are cornerstones. I think the ability to attract people and retain people is something which we've done phenomenally well. Over the last 10 years, our retention ratios of employees, senior bankers especially, is in excess of 98 to 99%, a single number which none of our competitors can boast about. And I think that's been because of our unique formula of sharing equity with all our senior bankers. As I said earlier, nearly 1/3 of our business is owned by employees, and that is made for a very unique entrepreneurial culture in the organization.
IIFL Investment Managers is headquartered in Mumbai with a presence across major countries and Indian cities, and has been expanding globally and locally.
I think what this company has been able to do for all of us is the sense and spirit of entrepreneurship which has been inculcated into each one of them. The sense of entrepreneurship, just on a lighter note, for example, the HR practices in the company sets actually people not to mark their attendance. Now this is only possible if you're an entrepreneur and you're not working for somebody. We started with a team of 8 people, and today, of course, after a decade, we are celebrating this year our 10th anniversary. We have grown leaps and bounds on all aspects, from mere 8 people to 855 people, from 1 office to about 16 offices in India and about 8 internationally, from 0 to about 1,40,000 crores in terms of assets, from 0 to about 10,500 families is what we are managing today. We are the leading wealth management firm in India today.
The company's workplace culture is guided and protected by its highly acclaimed employee ownership mindset.
A unique model of innovative co-ownership and open work environment underpinned by the core value of transparency has helped us attract the best talent in the industry. This talent in turn can go out and offer the most innovative products and solutions to our clients. This allows us to differentiate ourselves from the rest.
If you create a very good working environment in terms of physical infrastructure, there is a very different level of output which comes across. Today we have almost 100,000 square feet space, which is our headquartered office in Bombay. We have created a lot of employee engagement area, like a breakout zones, gaming places.
Our HR practices ensure that the entrepreneurial spirit of our employees remains kindled. For example, we've let go of something called the attendance system, which is nothing but we don't track attendance anymore. We believe that employees can take care of their time much better than we can take care of their time. Then we have meritocracy. We've institutionalized something called the Partners Club. If you're a partner and above, you get access to a host of extra benefits. Your families get involved in an outbound program, you get called for special clubs memberships, you have access to enhanced medical facilities, and you get access to a host of training interventions across the globe. Only in this particular year, we've sent more than 50 people to the best universities across the globe to enhance their learning.
A couple of years ago, when I wanted to explore my passion for cooking, baking especially, I spoke to my boss, Anirban Banerjee, about it, and he gave me an opportunity. So I was so passionate about it that I was ready to actually quit the organization and follow my passions into baking. But he said, you know what, I mean, it was a 6-month course, and he gave me the opportunity to actually pursue the course simultaneously along with working. I actually got the opportunity to pursue my passion and keep my job at the same time, which was absolutely fantabulous.
The company's first generation of entrepreneurs talk about the imperative on gender diversity.
So at IIFL Wealth, I think the greatest thing for me is that I think is gender agnostic. That's the best thing in a workplace. If you don't ever realize that you're being either favored or biased against because you belong to a specific gender, I think that's the best thing to achieve. I really look forward to being with the team, the larger team. One is the marketing team, and also the people that I get to interact with. Extremely high IQs, people that you enjoy talking to, people who will tickle your brain, and I think that's very enjoyable for me. And I think the second part is that I have complete flexibility, and of course so do people in my team. We have completely flexible hours. You can come and go when you wish.
There's a very good balance maintained between the two genders in this organization. If any activity or a role is being thought about, it's not the gender that decides, gender is not the deciding factor. I think it's the capability, the ability, and the passion with which the person is able to deliver it. I started the career as a service RM at the setup, eventually evolving into setting up a team which is managing client experiences for IIFL Wealth team. it gives me an immense satisfaction at the end of the day when I see the kind of client experience that is created with a lot of our clients on a day-to-day basis. So that's something that really motivates me to come to work. The second, on the personal aspect, is the freedom that is being given, the culture that we have at our workplace. There was complete trust bestowed upon me in terms of a lot of innovations that I could do. There was freedom given, there was freedom of thought, action. Every innovation was motivated, respected and accepted. This is something that really motivates me to come to this place every day.
Well, it's been almost 9 years. It still seems like it was just last week. We were a startup and it was fun to work here, and I think that fun has continued. The learning curve has been sharp in every sense of the word, in interpersonal relationship with colleagues, in terms of how we've learned about products. So I think that says a lot as to why I like to come to work also every day, because it's just very, very interesting to see what every day unfolds for us. So at IIFL, basically you're compensated for what you bring to the table. It doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a girl. And we have a culture where we reward anybody who is a performer. And I see my team being very happy with the way it's going. And it happens to be right from Karan's level to the lowest level, where all of us feel good about what we're bringing to the table.
Clean compensation systems, evolved training mechanisms, and clear performance indicators, clubbed with an extremely high employee ownership, helps us in retaining talent over long periods of time.
The leadership team at IIFL Investment Managers consists of a seasoned set of individuals who bring with them a rich experience from the financial services space.
When we've increased the number of relationship managers from 100 to 300, we've enhanced our platform in a large way. You invested a lot of money in compliance, legal. A lot of effort has gone into technology and making our processes much more robust and making the brand stronger and stronger. IIFL Holdings has announced the demerger of the businesses into 3 distinct businesses. The wealth and the asset management business, the non-banking financial company, the NBFC business, as well as the securities business. This in some ways is chapter 3 for us, because it will result in IIFL Wealth being independently listed over the next 7 to 8 months. All of us young entrepreneurs look forward to the next decade and want to see how in a newly listed form we hope to add continuously to growth and possibly take our company to newer heights.
The company's first-generation entrepreneur becomes a role model for young entrepreneurs, mentoring them through a candid discussion.
Can you offer some mentorship advice on how we can achieve our goals?
Let's take example for a person who joins on the relationship side, on the private banking side. We take a significant ownership to ensure that he does certain number of meetings with the managing partner, with the product CIO, with the fund manager, with the product specialist. And that kind of learning on the job when you're going and trying to convert a client, acquire a client, that process of learning between 10 to 15 meetings is acquired by the new person. So, that's the best way in terms of culturally fitting him, mentoring him, that the way of doing IIFL way could be very different from where he would be. Maybe similar industry, but our proposition could be very different.
Yatin, can you throw some light on the future outlook, the potential and the career path of us here at IIFL Investment Managers?
Our industry is growing, there's enough room for growth within internally in the organization, and we're ready to give up responsibilities and take up responsibilities. Founders like us kind of changed multiple roles, and that's what you want to demonstrate, that you get a right resource and you're able to give up responsibilities. So what we have created is a very strong, powerful program, what is called as Partners program, and that's what we kind of showcase today, a B school guy or a lateral hire, that if somebody is supposed to join, what is the roadmap gets to see in terms of his personal growth in the organization. So there are three areas which we've kind of focused. So you have partnership program for sales team, you have a partnership program for operational managers, and you have partnership program for investment managers. Identifying that every resource would have a different level of skill sets, and also allowing them to move within departments, I think so also has created a kind of excitement for people who are joining in, because they say that if they don't fit into a certain role, the organization so far is willing to put his 100%, is giving him multiple opportunities, whether it's asset management, equity research, sales, private banker, allowing them to move within cities. We have so many team members who've kind of started in Bombay, ended up in Delhi, started in Delhi, ended up in Canada, New York. So I think so getting that, especially with younger generation, I think so before they settle down with families, I think that 5-10 years they want to move within cities and work across. I think that's a very, very great environment where HR has created, always allowing people movement.
So Yatin, how can the workplace culture here contribute to our motivation?
I strongly believe that a happy co-worker, happy employee goes a long way in creating a significant brand for the company. You meet your friends, families, your college buddies who are working in different company, and you hearing and talking good things about your company where you at your workplace creates the best franchise for the company's brand. And that clearly I understand that being part of a large organization and then getting a chance to professionally build this IIFL Wealth, clearly I think so two big importance at all point in time, subconsciously or consciously are given. Then why would a client deal with IIFL Wealth? Has to be a value proposition, and why a good talented professional employee would want to work with IIFL Wealth, and keeping their expectations in mind, right from whether it's a growth opportunity, whether the work environment you create, the level of employee engagement, the infrastructure you provide, flexible work hours. You kind of look at them as they come with the same family background, they have married, kids, sons, school admissions, they would want flexi hours. So far everybody knows their responsibility and take on their ownership. I think so you don't want to do a kind of a check on them in a way that they have to come at 9, leave at 5:30 and things like that. And so you create a environment that they can work at a flexible hours. You create gym for them, you create good cafeteria, provide them healthy food, do employee engagement activities once in a month, take them for off-sites, do sporting events, send them for award recognitions, and all the time it's employees who are going there and receiving the awards.
IIFL Investment Managers provides a wide bouquet of products that fulfills varied client investment needs.
Our system is geared and focused towards ensuring that our employees are learning every day, every month, every year, and improving their skills to ensure that they are motivated enough to create an ecosystem which can service the client in the most professional manner.
The company strives to grow and expand, and also to make possibilities infinite for its customers.
When any investor deals with us, the investor deals with IIFL Investment Managers as a firm. We have created an ecosystem where the systems, the processes and the products are quite uniform across all channels offered to the investor. What it does is when an investor interfaces with a relationship manager in Singapore or interfaces with a relationship manager in Mumbai, because our backend is all integrated and the processes are quite robust, the end delivery of the product given to the investor is quite uniform.
The converging powers of such ambitions signifies the success of IIFL.
I was an entrepreneur throughout my life. It's very important for me to get a similar platform where I could continue my entrepreneurship journey. I think when I joined IIFL, I think it was important for my clients to see a continuation of what I had done earlier, because I was running about 4,000 crores of assets and very large client base.
There is proof that an organization built on a co-ownership model can go a long way.
We value two main things. You have to be commercially smart and extremely hardworking. There is absolutely no substitute. Education helps, but is not the only factor.
We at IIFL are very keen to create a lot of team leaders within ourselves who can run their own business within a bigger business. We are in the process of creating a lot of entrepreneurs in this decade. It's the only company I can say is having a substantial ownership by the partners in this wealth management industry.
We are known for our entrepreneurial work culture and our people-first policies. Employees own over 25% of the firm. This allows them to build long-term sustainable relationships with the clients as well as with the company. That, in turn, allows us to build the largest as well as the fastest growing relationship team in the country. Club this with very low attrition rate, and suddenly we've got a win-win for all.
Partnered by Times Influence.